What is going on today, guys? Welcome back to DC Unplugged, and today we are working on that trike. So I found out with the controllers that, the controller that got given, it uses the wrong plug to actually marry up to our battery. So I actually cut this off of our claptrap, which is our Project GTS. If you don't know about that one, I will put a little drop down and you can watch that before you continue. But basically it's just a modified, or going to be very heavily modified Dragon GTS. But we've taken the little power supply off of it so we can connect it onto that. So now just got to solder that connection on so we can connect it to our battery. Let's do it. There we go, guys. So just connected it on. Obviously red goes to red, black goes to black. Just sheath that over with some heat shrink so that way it protects it from arcing out on anything. So nice and thick heat shrink. Those aren't going anywhere, so put a fair bit of solder in there so that way it doesn't get any hot patches or anything like that, so while the current's running through it. But yeah, let's go get a battery. Alright, so we have the trike rolled over on its backside at the moment. I did do some test fitting off camera of that hub motor. It wants to foul on the back of this hydraulic brake, so we're just going to put some spacers in there so we can spread these out a little bit just for the testing purposes. Don't know if I'm going to keep it running like that. I kind of think I should, just because I do like the hydraulic brakes on this. If I can, I'll probably get some adapters to space this out, and we'll put some 203 discs on it, just because I think they're like 160 on the other wheel, so if that. So they're quite small, but yeah, we'll see how we go. Anyway, let's get this wheel on. Okay, so wheel is on. We want it to spin that way. You can always test these motors by putting these together, and if you feel resistance like that does now, and then let go, it's all good. So yeah, all right, that's pretty much sat on. It's got heaps of room beside that disc now, so that spacer really does work, which is a really good thing, which means I can throw a disc into that soon, and yeah, we'll get them probably on order though, because we're going to bump it up to a 203 mil disc, which is quite large. It's like that big. But seeming that this is the only brakes that are on this, it's probably good to have a good set of brakes, especially how fast this thing's probably going to end up going. So without further ado, let's get the controller sorted out and marry up a throttle to here and the battery up to the controller. Let's go. So how these work is basically the phase wires, they basically, just to start out, put each individual phase wire to the same color. If you do find that they go backwards, leave the yellow one plugged in and switch the two yellow and green around, and then it'll actually spin the opposite direction. So yellow to yellow, green to green for testing, MOSFET sensor, or MOSFETs I should say. Connect those up, Now basically all this does is just makes a really smooth acceleration, so when you pull that throttle it's not so jerky. So you can run this without these, but yeah, just to make it more smoother, run it with it. Alright, let's get that throttle hooked up. So we're looking for a flat plug, so we just go through the wiring harness. That's our flat plug there. But just before you click it in, just make sure all the colours match up. So then that way you're not going to run into any issues. Some kits already have this sorted out, like this one. All the colours seem to be going to the right colours, so this kit's actually pretty good. Like I said, this is only for testing purposes. We're just making sure that the kit works. So I'm not even sure how to operate this, so this will be quite funny. So put that over there and grab our battery. Now, with batteries that you already get from wherever you get them from, some of these will have 2 big ones, and some of these might have 1 of these or 2 of these. This is just your charger. This is actually your output, your outgoing one. So we just plug him down there, out of the way. I always hate plugging these in because they always make a popping noise. It always scares the crap out of me. Make sure these go up, cool. Every time. Alright. So, there we go. So it's on. Hey, nice. Mad. Sick. So there we go. So we've got our, I think that's like, yeah, full and empty. Battery bar doesn't really tell us the speed. Tell you what though, that's pumping. That's boogieing. Alright, cool guys, so now that that's done, we're going to probably do the paint probably next, get all that all sorted out in the frame, and then we'll start refitting all this, make it all nice and pretty again, and try and tie it in. We've also got to still find a seat for this, so I do want to have a seat on it because I think that would be pretty cool. And yeah, we'll reveal the colour in a couple of days time or so, maybe even a week. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely go up there, give us a subscribe and maybe even a like if you feel inclined to. But yeah, hope that helped out, and a bit of information on how all this stuff works, which is pretty cool. We'll see you all in the next one. Cheers for watching. Yeah, sick.